who is the most merciful, the most powerful, and the provider, the source of beauty, the benefactor of water and bread, as well as the supplier of life. Tonight is the 5th night of MOHARRAM, a night of mourning, and one, amongst others, are nights that are etched with sadness, tears and misfortunes for our dearest of Imams, Imam Hussein and his faithful companions, Hazrat Abbas and Bibi Zainab. Tonight I'll be exploring and portraying the great teachings and lessons that can be learned from the event of Ashura. The teachings in which our Imams have continuously pressed on, and the teachings that are the foundations in which our religion bases itself on. There are many, but tonight I'll only underline a few that everyone must be informed of in aid of them to become the true followers of Islam. The first lesson of tonight is a lesson of courage and boldness. The faithful ones can never be intimidated by the enemy. It makes no difference to what extent their number is. Look at the army standing today, thousands and thousands. Imam Hussein and his loyal companions only made up of 150 people, but the opponent's side was of 30,000 personnel. Even with 200 times less, Imam Hussein amongst his family members and followers were not frightened or even merely startled by the huge number of opponents. The same logic and ration is taught in Holy Quran, Surah Anfal. If there are 20 patient ones of you, then they shall overcome 200. And if there are 100 patient ones of you, then they shall come over 1,000 of those who disbelieve because they do not understand. This teaching idea of being valiant is also visualized in Imam Ali's teachings. He quotes, "By God, if all Arabs assemble to assist one another as to fight and defeat me, then I would never retreat. I would never take a step back." He was neither afraid of foes or death, because according to him, death was not the last limit of life and the end of everything. Rather, it is a start of eternal relief and everlasting comfort. The second lesson, which can be very achievable by everyone in this room, is the teaching of selflessness. Imam Hussein, with the zealous followers, did not hesitate to give their lives, give all they possessed for the outcome of today. They had even left their unmatured family members without supervision, for the result that we have hindsight of their teachings and the meaning of martyrs. The third and final lesson of today is a revival of the Islamic doctrine. Imam Hussein, when he started his movement in the spread of Islam and the movement in finding true ways to live, he quickly energized this core principle that makes Islam the beautiful religion it is today. So, the above are the teachings of Ashura, the teachings that are aid for us to become the characters we are destined for, true Muslims. To summarize, the three main teachings include: one must be brave and not intimidated by the great extent of their enemies' numbers, because they do not understand. Secondly, one must be generous and selfless towards the giving of possessions. If you have a small amount, then if you could please donate it to our community charity, it would go for a good cause. And thirdly, we must revive the true principles of Islam, and we can do this by attending religious ceremonies and meetings like the Dua Qasemi. May God the Almighty reduce the unfriendly evil elements of our inner desires, which tend to mislead us towards the wrong path, the path in which Imam Hussein and his adherents avoided. So if we could emulate Imam Hussein's way of life whilst facing various challenges, then we will hereafter be the real followers of Islam. Thank you.
MashaAllah.
صحتمندی شد صلوات دوم بلندتر.